I've been debating about the best way to share this information with you, and there really is no direct route. In order to grasp the nature of this idea, you have to understand the nature of our funding. This classroom only operates because of federal and state grants that supply us with the monies to buy computers, software, and other supplies. Now, of course, that funding comes with strings attached, and those strings are becoming more and more specific. And among the things they want is for each and every one of you to have the opportunity to do job shadows and have internships, which is a great idea, but impossible to implement if you consider all the rest of the schools that have arts, media, and entertainment pathways like ours in our school district. So that means in East County there are hundreds and hundreds of kids who are supposed to get internships in local businesses. You see the problem, don't you? So I've mentioned before about bringing work into the Mac Lab, and we do that. Banned Books Week, the posters for events, and all the rest. And the Form Guild is our primary arm which deals with handling clients' needs. Well, they're getting more and more specific about work-based learning. And the pressure is going to start coming down. And I want to anticipate the problem before it becomes a festering wound that threatens our existence and our funding. And commercial Clade, this idea of a special guild that's not even called a guild, that requires you to already be in the Form Guild and costs another 2,000 gold. What's up with that? Don't worry, you can have more gold than you need. Will come with all kinds of special perks. So what is the commercial Clade and what is MacLab Media? MacLab Media is actually a club. It's a school club. You see clubs, they advertise, they set up tables, they publicize, try to recruit members. Well, MacLab Media is kind of a top secret club. We don't recruit members. We don't go out of our way to do anything. The reason for its existence is so that we can do things like the commercial Clade. It makes it legal. Now, if I come up here, I'll just open up a new tab and head out to Creative Market. There we go. Hit return. This is a new type of business out on the web where individual artists go away. Individual artists set up shops and they can sell things like hand lettering and different resources for artists to use to make money. Okay? So it's good for the individual business and it's good for the end user. We're going to have our own shop here. And we're going to create things like symbols, shapes, brushes, patterns, photo resources, all kinds of different opportunities for us to learn real-world skills and put them to work running a real business. We're going to need someone to set up a newsletter, to write the content. We're going to need there's a lot of needs, and we'll get into all of those. But I wanted to plant this seed here. I'm going to go ahead and shut that now so that you understand that the Form Guild, which leads to the commercial Clade, is an opportunity for you to begin contributing to our classroom, to MacLab Media's commercial branch. We're going to be a commercial art foundry in the classroom. Now, why should you work hard to help us? Because the funding all goes through the finance office, and we can only use those funds to buy supplies, more creative tools for you to use in the classroom. So it benefits the classroom. No individual, I don't get a cent. No money goes into my pocket. That's a good way for a teacher to get fired. And I kind of like this job, so that's not going to happen. But what's in it for you? Well, by the time you get out of high school, you're going to understand how this business works, and you're going to have the skills to set up your own shop. Now you might say, well, what's to prevent me from doing that right now and just skipping MacLab Media? Well, you're being provided training, resources, the opportunity to use these computers and the software and all this stuff, and consider it part of your apprenticeship towards starting your own business. And as a former business owner, I can help you set that up legitimately, working with you and your folks, to do this legally, ethically, morally, responsibly, so that instead of waiting tables in college or after high school, maybe you're pulling in some income doing some fun, creative things. Get it? All right, so that wasn't as short as I intended, but it is an introduction to this idea that we are going to start a commercial art foundry inside the Mac Lab called MacLab Media. And it is going to have a storefront in the second semester, and we are going to publicize this and start a newsletter and do everything that people who do this and make a living. There are people, this is their primary source of income, and they make enough to own a house and cars and pay insurance and raise their families. It can be something other than small potatoes if you really work at it. We're really going to work at it. More to come.